Hey guys, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. My name is Emma. I've got a few orders that I need to fulfill today. As you guys know, I have an Etsy shop online, so I do have a few orders that came in during the week, and got some shirts that we need to get bleached and pressed with sublimation. And then we've got to make some sleeves, some popsicle sleeves. So we've got a busy day, and I just thought that I would string you guys along and kind of see how it works start to finish. So let's go.
Let's work on our popsicle sleeves first. I've already saved it in my design space, so all I have to do is go in and make a few revisions. So I save a square, or I should say a rectangle, with the size of the sleeve. And I just go in, you don't have to do this, but I'm a very visual person and I like to do it. So I go in and I add as many squares as I need for as many of the popsicle sleeves that I use. While we're in here, I'm going to show you a quick trick. This works really well if you're trying to work on stickers. Basically, you grab the whole column, align left, grab the whole bottom, align to bottom, then grab the top, you're going to align to top. And then what you can do is grab a whole column at a time, and you're going to distribute it vertically. So basically what that's doing is just distributing it equally, and so all of your lines will match up and be really cool. Now you do not need to do this for this project. I just thought that I would show you how to line things up very quickly and easily. This next part is absolutely not required. I'm just a very visual person, and it helps me know that my order is exactly aligned with the colors and the names for each child. All right, next we're going to work on the names. And just in case you're curious, the font that I'm using is Star Jedi. And it depends on if you're going to use lowercase or uppercase, on if it's going to have that little doohickey at the end or the beginning of the name. You can also see that I like to use the duplicate function. So instead of going to my text and then going up and selecting the font every time, I just duplicate it and then I double click it so that I can type in a new name. The other thing I like to do is I like to find my shortest word, which was Max, and I look and see how high it is. Then what I do is I go through the rest of the names and I unlock the dimensions from width and height, and I make sure that I increase their height to be the same as Max's name. Now we don't need to cut these rectangles on our vinyl, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to hide them all by selecting the eye on the right hand side. Now let me show you something. If I went and clicked create now or make now, you're going to see that these are all going to show up really funky on your page, and they're way too close, and that is not going to be fun to try and weed out. So what I do is I go in and I kind of mess with it and I move them around until I decide it's going to be a good fit on my page. You always want to make sure you click the attach button at the bottom and then click make it. You can see here it's still really spread apart, and I want to save more of my vinyl. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to work with it. Now I keep moving all of the names around until I feel like it's going to be a good fit on my vinyl. And as you can see, I keep highlighting all of them at one time, and I'm looking at the width to make sure I get it within 11.5 inches, because anything bigger than that and it will not print or not fit on the Cricut. All right, looks like we've got it less than 11.5, so I'm going to go ahead and attach it and then click make it. It's less than 6 inches, so I think that's great. I make sure that I mirror my image, and then I'm going to hit continue. You're going to go ahead and select Everyday Iron-On. You can do the default or more. I selected default just because I have a newer blade. Now, when you're using HTV, it's a good thing to remember that you've got a shiny side and a dull side. You're always going to have the shiny side facing down. Now what I do here is I use my X-Acto knife to go ahead and cut around each name. You're going to learn what pressure to use just by experience, but I'm not putting a super deep pressure, but enough that I'm not going to harm my mat behind it. I then like to get my roller and apply some pressure. It just makes it a little bit easier when you're going to weed. Next, we're going to press our sleeves. I use the temperature 305 degrees for 10 to 15 seconds with some heavy pressure. Now, you don't have to use the butcher paper, but I like to use it just to help protect the sleeve material. Now we're going to package it up. I always write a personalized thank you note to each one of my customers. an Epson 2760, and it can only print the normal 8.5 by 11. So I have to be creative, and I have to print 2 times when I have these larger images. I'm showing you here how I use heat-resistant tape to stick them together. Now make sure you never use regular tape. It'll melt and it'll be a big mess all over your shirt and your press. So heat-resistant tape is the way to go. I just purchased mine off of Amazon for about $10 for 2 rolls. Now what you're going to do is you want to overlap your image just slightly, and then put your heat-resistant tape anywhere there is not ink. If you put it where there's ink, that part of the ink is not going to show up on your shirt. I do this front and back, and on the back it's okay to apply it anywhere. It's just the front that you can't have it overlapping the ink. Now I went outside and bleached, but unfortunately I thought I was recording and I wasn't, so I have no footage of that. But I do have another video, I can link it down below. Go ahead and watch that video to see how I bleach outside. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. If you liked this video, I love hearing from you. Leave a comment in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that bell so that you'll be notified as soon as I upload a new video. Thank you so much for the support, and we'll see you guys next time.